What up, playa?
What up, playa? Bobby.
What's going down? What's going down, Danny?
We
didn't do that. We didn't do this.
Oh,
Marker.
Shit. Oh shit.
It's okay. Marker. We've already started, so.
What up, playa?
What up, playa?
Hey, you know this? We had 2 weeks in a row of Mondays being off, technically.
From work,
right?
Yeah, red holidays is what they call it in Korea, right?
Bygone nar.
Yeah,
right.
Red days. My bad.
Right. Red holiday. Yeah, and so we just passed Hangul Day.
Yeah.
Right. Again, I always find it very fascinating that national holidays in the U.S. It's not my joke, but is when someone died. You know what I mean? Like motherfuckers died for that, for us to take a day off from work.
Yeah.
In Korea, not the case. Not all red days are because motherfuckers got shot. You know what I mean?
Well, for instance, in the States, 4th of July, a lot of people died.
Yeah. It was a start.
Independence.
It was a start of let's die, right?
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, Indians got shot in the face with muskets.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
right?
I guess that's true. And also, Easter, I guess.
Yeah.
But
someone got nailed to the cross.
Yeah, and then but he rose again from the dead 3 days later.
Right.
So there's a happy ending there.
So it just feels like there's holidays in the US are kind of based on tragedy, while in Korea not so much, you know?
It's based on sacrifice.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. In Korea, it's like, hey, someone built a 24-letter alphabet. And it is supposedly the most, I don't want to say perfect, but it's the most, it's a perfect alphabet according to Koreans.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, okay. Is that why they take it so seriously? Because I mean, like in the States, we don't have alphabet day.
Right? We only got like the alphabet. What is it? The macaroni, the soup.
Why did I think of that too? Alphabet soup
or the cereal.
Yeah.
Right. Soup. But yeah. So I'm obviously like I'm working part-time and you're not, right? But like the last 2 Mondays have been like Sundays to me, technically. So like I'm treating it like a weekend.
Yeah.
And then today I woke up like it felt like a Monday. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I woke up today going, fuck. Yeah.
But it's, I mean,
I'm curious.
In podcast world, it's Tuesday for us.
Yeah. Who, like, at what age do you, when you wake up, in your mind, I don't know if you curse out loud, probably don't, but in your mind, have you ever woken up like those commercials where like you wake up from a good night's sleep, you fucking do the morning stretches.
Yeah.
You hear the birds chirp. You know what I mean? Like it's a good feeling, because I don't think I've had that feeling ever in my life where I woke up and I went, oh my God, today's going to be a great.
Yeah, I'm not a morning person. So
I start off
like
cursing. I go, fuck.
Yeah, I hate waking up.
Right.
Yeah.
So
even when I've had plenty of sleep, I just hate it. I hate having to go through the motions.
So there's an old Steve Byrne joke, but he goes, I love sleep so much. Every time he wakes up, he goes, I can't wait to do that again. Speaking of sleep, man, like, I don't know if there's any laws against this, but when I first moved into my place, across from my place, there was a supposed famous sauna.
Across from your place?
Right.
Okay.
They tore it down. And they are currently tearing it down. So every morning at around 7 o'clock, you could hear them drilling and fucking, you know, ripping shit apart. And I'm just like, so
That was always the case when I lived in Itaewon. Because they're always like redoing something there.
Yeah.
I hated it.
But they are ripping down like a 5-story building. So so it's you hear the big ass trucks removing the debris.
Yeah.
I can't go to sleep. I haven't slept properly, and I've been having fucked up dreams. Although the dream that I told you before we started rolling.
Oh yeah.
I choose not to reveal that one on the podcast.
Yeah, that one's a bit. Yeah, that's one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah. Although, okay, you know what? Without naming names, right? The dream I had recently was it was a friend's ex-girlfriend, and I dreamt that I was having sex with her, and I do not have like that type of feelings or emotions for her. Like she is a beautiful woman, but I never thought of her that way, and I haven't even thought of her until.
I mean, it's one of those.
But why does that fucking pop into your head? And now, like, if I ever run into her, like, my brain goes, "Oh man," like
you would never, in any situation, be like, "Oh, it's funny. I had a dream about us having sex."
Yeah. So, like, it just makes me feel like
awkward,
icky inside.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was not of your. I mean, there's nothing you could do about it.
Absolutely. But you know what's
subconscious.
But you know what's funny though? Like, I would assume that as we're going to start coitus in my dream, before I started.
Wait, foreplay? Or are you talking about foreplay?
No, fucking. Before I start even foreplaying in my dream. By the way, in my dream, I was doing foreplay like I'm fucking romantic in my dream too, right? But then, so anyway, so like, I could have just forced myself to wake up, right?
Could you?
I think so.
I don't know.
But I let it happen in my dream, so I feel like, I didn't do it for real. I'm not really fantasizing about it.
Oh, well,
but
I don't think you have any control over that. I don't think you could have been like, wait, it's time to wake up. Okay. I don't really think. Yeah, I don't. Maybe some people have control over their dreams. What was it called? Like
lucid dreaming.
Lucid dreaming,
right? It reminds me of a venue we played at.
Oh gosh! Shout out to Itaewon.
Not a good segue, but
sleep though. I would say sleep is that is the secret to youth. I think. If you get plenty of sleep, then you age slower.
You think that's the way I look the way I do? Because I don't sleep that much.
Maybe you need more sleep. I mean,
wow, I fucking here hit it as hard as you can. Here. Okay, so I don't know if I talked about it in the previous episodes, but I was trying my best to drink a lot less for the month of October because in
that
September
was your plan.
I went a little hard, right?
Yep.
And so I was doing fine until last week after we recorded. A 동생 of mine here that works here, and another person that works here, she invites me to her 언니's like new place of establishment. Right?
Like a bar?
No, it was like it's like a eyebrow tattoo parlor.
Oh, to their business.
Right.
Okay.
But they just opened up or whatever.
Okay.
Small joint in Hongdae. And apparently she was like, oh, 우리 언니 wants like 재밌는 사람들.
To hang out with?
Right. And I was like, dang, you must have like shitty friends if you're going to call fellow coworkers to come. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Be 재밌어, right?
Yeah.
So me and my 동생 here go there and we start hanging out, drinking, talking, chilling. And for the first time in a long time, like, I was kind of flirty.
Wait, she wanted to have just fun people around that night?
Yeah.
But of the opposite sex? Like,
yes,
she wanted to possibly like a sogeting kind of thing?
Well, I mean, I don't want to take it to that degree, but it was basically 2 girls and then they called 2 guys.
Oh, okay. All right. So like a double date kind of thing.
But the other 2 have significant others. So they're solely going for the sake of hanging out.
Okay.
Right. Well, me and the Unni are supposedly
older than you?
No.
Oh.
She's supposedly single.
All right. So if anything's gonna happen, it's between you and the Unni.
Right. And I read the room, and I wasn't like overtly flirty, but I was like, oh shit, I haven't flirted like this in a long time. And we were drinking. Got kind of drunk. And she asked for my number.
Okay.
Like not
so you were flirty because you were into her.
Yeah, she was attractive, and I liked her personality, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, we were communicating well. We're joking, fucking around. She was a former flight attendant.
Okay.
Right. So she's I won't say worldly, but she's traveled the world, right?
Okay.
So she's not just Korean, but she understands a little bit of Western humor, culture, et cetera, right? And so we were doing well, and she asks for my phone number.
Oh, nice.
So it's not like I was like, hey, what's your number? She asked for mine. So I gave it to her. And this is how I knew I've been out of the game. Like I have hadn't had practice in such a long time. That I was so drunk that I didn't ask for her number back.
Oh, what?
Right? So
okay.
She has my number on her phone, but I did not ask for it. That is like super amateur move.
Yeah. I mean, if you put yourself in her shoes.
Right.
Or if, let's say, you asked for her number and she didn't give. Wait. Let's say you.
All right. You're the girl.
Yeah.
I'm the guy.
Yeah.
Right.
I asked you for your number.
So I type it in.
And you didn't.
No.
You didn't say, oh, call me.
Right.
So I can get your number.
Amateur move. Danny Cho. I remember the next day going, oh shit, I didn't ask for the girl's number.
Yeah.
Right.
Were you thinking, did you have any other thoughts in your mind like, oh, I'll just see you on Tinder? Like you thought maybe.
I don't know what I was thinking. I was kind of drunk. I was not like over the top. Like I didn't black out, but like.
Did you exchange social media?
Yeah.
Oh, so you can contact that way.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But the number is more direct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
more traditionally
leaving a DM. You know what I mean? Like I'm 40. I got to be like. You know?
That's one extra step to be like, oh, I don't mean to send you a DM through Instagram, but I didn't ask for your number.
Right.
Although you could use that as an opportunity to be like, hey, listen, I'm really like, I'm not used to this kind of thing, and I guess I made a mistake. I should have probably asked for your number, and like maybe she'll see that as a cute mistake.
It's just fucking hard to see this as cute, right? But
what are you talking about?
Right, but so here was the age old. So me and the guy Dongseng that I went there with. The following day we met each other and we talked. Not the following day, 2 days after.
Okay.
And he goes, "Did you get a number?" And I was like, "No." He said, "What the fuck?" Right? So. Here's okay. So after the number exchange or whatever, we're still drinking, and previously it was agreed upon that the Unni was going to sleep at the girl's house,
at her Dongseng's house.
Yes. Okay. But like as we're like, okay, it's time to go or whatever.
She lives far away or something.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. So she's like, okay, so it was time kind of to go.
Wait, can I stop you? You guys were drinking at her place of business?
Yeah, she closed the door and we just.
Oh, okay. So,
and then she goes. So like it's okay, when you feel the vibe is like, all right, I think it's time to go. We shouldn't buy more drinks or drink more or whatever.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, let's call it a night or whatever. And the Unni looks at her Dongseng and goes, I'm not gonna go home with you.
Oh, okay.
Right?
And then did she look at you after? Or you overheard it?
No, yeah, she said it a few times.
In front of, okay.
Right? And so like the Dongseng was like, oh no, you have to come with me. What are you gonna do? Sleep here? And then she's like cleaning up the
mess you guys made.
Right. While my 동생 is telling the girl 동생 to be like, yo, let's get the fuck out of here. So me and whatever can drink more, hang out more, etc.
Okay, because it seems like you guys were getting along.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
But female 동생 was like, she was also drunk. So she's like, 아니야, she has to sleep
she
with
didn't
us.
read the situation.
Right.
So she wasn't like trying to cock block.
Right.
But it was more like that's what happened.
Yes. And so I just called a cab. And then, when the cab came, I was like, hope to see you guys soon. And then as I'm walking out, my 동생 goes, hey, you should pretend like you're getting in a cab. And when me and the 동생 leave, you should come back and say, I want to drink some more.
Whoa.
Right?
Well, that takes,
Right?
That could turn out bad.
Right.
If it wasn't.
Right.
If you read the situation wrong, then that could come out as very creepy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So here is my question to you and to our fans. So Koreans call it green light.
Green light.
Yeah. Meaning like, is that an opening? When she goes, I'm not going to go home with you.
파란색? Like,
cho록색? They just go green light. Is this green light meaning like, is that an opening? Not just for like hooking up, but like, is that a green light in terms of I'm interested in this person? Or is it like, meaning like the door is open?
Yeah.
Right? Is this a green light? Do you think if you knew that they were going to go home together and then the girl goes, I don't want to go home.
Oh, yeah.
Like in your mind, single Bobby would do what?
I mean, her home was too far away.
Yeah.
So she had to make arrangements to possibly sleep at her 동생's house. Right? Because, they're going to drink.
Right.
Okay. And then she says she doesn't want to stay. She doesn't want to sleep at. Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty kind of, If you guys were getting along that night, she asked for your number. Given the information I know, I think that's a green light. It sounds like a green light,
right?
But because you ended up leaving and none of that. It could be a situation where
I fucked up.
No,
I turned on the red light.
No, maybe it was just. It could have been that, or it was just like not a green light. Also, right. She just didn't want to sleep at a stranger's house.
So if you were in my shoes, what would you do if you were in my shoes? And you, if you were in my shoes at that night, what would you do?
As single and
yes, no, not fucking married and father of two. like of course, yeah.
Oh man, but when I was single, I never went for it. I rarely went for it, But yeah, it all depends on how you really are doing. Like you really have to know if it's going well between you two.
I mean, the one thing that I would say is that I was boozed enough to be like, I might be reading this wrong.
Okay. You know what? And then it's always a matter of because I mean, we're essentially talking about a one night stand.
I mean, it can be more.
It could be I've had one night stands turned into long-term relationships, right? But it's also if you felt something, maybe you're digging this person. And maybe if you can't tell if it's a green light or not, then it's worth waiting it out and then going on a date afterwards. Right. I wouldn't go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't go for it.
Because my 동생 is like, well, you should DM her.
Yeah. I agree.
Be like, but he's like, you should be more aggressive. Now, the thing that I fear is if I come off too aggressive.
Yeah. Going through DM. Yeah.
And all that other shit. It would make my relationship with her 동생 a little awkward.
Who you're friends with, right? Are you friends with them?
Well, I mean, she works here.
Yeah. So,
right.
I mean, but you may not be friends, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
yeah.
like, you know, kind of related, but it's the analogy is this. It's Chappelle's old special, right? First one, where like, you know, like, who calls the cops calm and relaxed? You know what I mean? You know, yeah. He's coming to kill me. I don't pissed on myself or whatever, right? And then like the friends go at the funeral.
Yeah.
You know, Dave fucking shat on himself or whatever. You know what I mean? Like similarly, like that, like the relationship is if I shot too aggressively, all that information, verbatim will go to the 동생. Right. And so that's why I was just kind of like, I was calculating. But number one for sure was that I made the not the fatal mistake, but the super noob move of not getting her number. Yeah. You know? You did. But she doesn't remember my name too, because apparently on her phone. Your name? Yeah, because apparently on her phone, I am her 동생's 미국 친구.
Oh, really? Right. That's how she wrote. Okay. Right. Well, yeah. I mean, I think you, with all that information, you may have dodged a bad situation. If you know,
I know kung fu.
No, but if even if there's a chance that you know you did, then I think it's good that you didn't go for it. I'm glad you didn't stick around and go back.
Why not?
I don't know. I just like it felt like that would be like a creepy move. Even with even with you know like you working out the percentages and stuff. Right. I mean, in that case, showing some restraint and waiting for like a possible second encounter. Right. That's where you have to. That's where you have to hold off. Unless it was one of those situations where, there was no 동생 that you work with involved. And it's just someone you met at a bar and you guys hit it off. Like kind of thing. Yeah.
Then I'd be like, yo, I would pretend like I'm, you know, going home and I would come back and be like, hey, so how about that extra drink, right?
Yeah. Because in that case, then you might never know, you know, like then you might be like lost chance.
Yeah. What do our listeners think about what I should do?
I've been out of the game so long. I'd rather hear from you guys.
Because some people are going, quit being a fucking pussy, you should fucking man up and fucking you know, there's gonna be that, right? Anyway, so that was the most exciting thing that happened since we last recorded.
Oh, for you?
Right. Okay. Like, exciting / like interesting, like I felt, I don't want to say I felt alive again, but you know what I mean? Like I felt a little bit of like, oh shit, I got I'm like, you know, that the flirty vibes. Usually like I'm just that crusty fucking curmudgeon old man that just goes, ugh, you know, like, you know. I gotta be honest, I miss those days. Like and I you know, I envy you that you can still, you know, get out there and have those feelings and have that like, oh, what if kind of like scenario happening in your heart, you know? I do miss those days, you know, although like there's great things that I get to do. Right. The highlight of my weekend was, you know, I built a train set for Benji. Nice. Nice. And yeah, and it worked. Like, hey, but like after this recording, can you ask your wife if she was on the 2 train this morning?
On the 2 train?
Yeah, the
this
number
morning?
2. Yeah. Because I don't.
She was.
Because I think she sat like 2 seats next to me, but I didn't even look at her.
No way.
And I kind of thought it. I kind of thought it was her when she when she got up to leave
with Benji.
Yeah, she had a she had a stroller, but I didn't even look at the kid. I just and there was an old lady with her.
Yeah, my mother-in-law. They went down to Pundang to go toy shopping.
Okay.
With her emo.
Okay, because I as she's leaving the door, because I'm on the phone, right, and then I go, and I think her profile was her, but she was like sitting literally like 2 people away from me.
Okay, yeah, that was probably her.
Oh, see, it's such a small country, and yet,
I knew it, and it was the timing too, because she left a little after I left the house. They left the house a little after I left the house.
Your kids didn't cause any trouble or ruckus.
Oh, really?
Just made good noise. Good noise.
Oh, good noise.
Not like I'm screeching, get the fuck away from me, I need help. It was more like just regular, like blah, 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 blah.
I know for a fact she was on the green line for only 2 stops. So one more stop, you would have been like, you would have got a little bit more of that. So,
so on the weekend, I met up some dongsengs to grab a drink, some comedians.
So you're just breaking the rules of drinking in October.
Because I told them, I go, hey, because we're going to start stand-up soon. Shows are going to commence.
Oh, because more people are getting vaccinated.
Right. And so, supposedly the rumor is that by middle of November, they're going to allow people who are fully vaccinated to stay out.
Longer?
Yes.
Oh, no curfew? Or just longer?
12 or something like that, right? And so, we were like, let's get ready for it. So let's do kind of like a hangout / joke writing session / just hanging out, right?
Okay.
Because, to me, the thing that I miss the most, not miss, but like what I haven't been doing for almost a year is like hanging out and talking in Korean.
Yeah, I mean,
and like and the banter back and forth. It doesn't have to be like me trying to test out a joke. But it's like, something's being said, and then like, like boom, like
it's keeping you on your toes, right?
Ad-lib back. And I haven't been doing that in a while, right? So I was like, we should hang out. And they were like, yeah, you're right. And so I was in Hongdae, and I don't know if it was a group or some company, but they were playing the takji game from Ojingo.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So it was a dude in a suit.
Yeah.
And like him and like his homegirls that had like a suitcase. I don't know what was inside the suitcase.
Yeah.
And then like, people came to challenge. Dude, there was like a big ass mob of people trying to challenge this dude.
Were they doing it for slaps or cash?
Unfortunately, no one was getting slapped and no one was getting paid, right? So like but I was like at a cafe upstairs, like looking down at this and going, man, if slaps were involved, this would be a lot more entertaining, right? But nobody got slapped, so I just kind of shut down afterwards because
at least takchi, right? Or what do you call it? Like doing with the finger?
Yeah, takbam. Yes.
Yeah, that'll be a good drinking game to introduce the takchi thing.
Yeah, no, because like, to see like as much as like I'm all for competition and sports and whatever games, like I like seeing winners and losers, like a square piece of paper being flipped up the other way. There's no excitement in that for me. Right, Yeah,
you got to see the punishment.
Yeah, there was no punishment. It was like they shook the dude's hand or whatever after they lost. The dude was, seemed like he was beating everybody. So they shook the dude's hand and then they just walked away.
Well, what are you doing after this? Let's go, you and me. We'll make it. You can make it, right?
Yeah.
We'll make it.
Yeah.
We'll do it for shots.
Oh, so you want me to drink?
Yeah. I mean, you drank. I'm kind of offended that, you're drinking with your dongsengs here and there, But here I am, probably your oldest friend in Korea. That needs a drink every now and then. Let's do it for shots of Jameson.
Let's just fucking drink.
I guess we could just drink.
Yeah. That's the thing about like drinking games is like, I don't like drinking games because I like drinking.
Yeah, that's true.
So as
speeding it up is like just makes it worse.
Yeah,
because,
and not only that, like if you win, you drink less.
Oh yeah,
right.
That's true.
So you're defeating the purpose of me, who is I don't want to say an alcoholic, but I like drinking, right? So But I'm curious because I'm getting vaccinated with my second shot in 2 days.
Oh,
right.
So really,
so when is the cutoff day? Is it today being my last day that I should drink, or can I drink tomorrow? Right. Yeah.
I don't know, but I'll do some research. I'll tell you tomorrow.
So so that's where I'm at. Like, I'm excited about.
I'm excited for you too, because I remember getting my second shot, and I knew like I knew still a lot more people needed to get the second shot before things got normal.
Right.
But at least for me, it felt like a little relieving.
Right.
You know, because I just upped the percentage of, like I made my family safer.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Because they say the second shot, the chances of catching it becomes less and less. And so I felt, really relieved that I was being safe as it was. And now, I'll continue to be safe, but like it felt good. And so I hope that somewhat translates to how you feel, like with everything you have to, everyone's dealing with it in different ways.
Right. I mean, personally, like me getting it and my relief from getting it is actually a very selfish reason.
How so?
Because like that way, once like I get it and the 2 weeks pass, like I have more benefits. Meaning like even now, right? So like if you go outside, you can still like at a restaurant past 6.
Yeah.
You could still eat with 6 people so long as 4 of the people
are vaccinated,
are fully vaxxed and 2 weeks pass.
Oh yeah. So you right.
Like,
but you still have to find 3 other people.
No, well, yeah,
right,
but meaning that the more and more people do it, there's going to be less people that are not fully vaxxed.
Yeah. So
in the circle of people that I normally hang out with, right? And on top of that, it's just kind of like speaking of unvaxxed, right? And this is not a anti-vaxxer whatever thing, but like. I know you don't follow sports much, but the superstar basketball player Kyrie Irving of the Brooklyn Nets refuses to get his vaccination, right? Okay. But the New York state law is that any professional athlete that is going to compete or play in the state of New York needs to be vaccinated, right? Okay. So he is not allowed to play.
Is he also getting fined for not showing up to games?
Yeah, so he is not getting fined. Now his teammates go, you know what? Like, we respect his choice and blah, 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 blah. But this dude, for the most part, unless he gets vaxxed, will get fined a hefty amount of money. Yeah. For per game he misses. Okay. Right? So that's just for all his home games, right? Now, other states might have different rules, right? Like Toronto, for example, apparently, he can play basketball there. Yeah. But he can't leave his hotel.
Oh, that's...
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah. So if he does and he gets fined a crazy amount, he might even get jailed. Yeah. Right? So like, again, this is not a rant about like anti-vaxxers.
It's just a situation
stupid, but situationally
we're living with, right? Yeah. And so even our sports teams and that's
also Kyrie Irving is a flat earther as well.
Flat earther? So he watches the internet a lot.
Yeah, he needs to
he's on the internet a lot, this guy. I mean, no offense to any of our listeners that are interneters. Like I mean, the flat earth thing gets me like that. I won't even watch those videos. It's like I feel like there's other ways I can waste my time, better ways. But the anti-vax stuff, like, yeah, I mean, clearly, I have a stance on it, but
I don't know. I mean, like, ultimately, like, this is not the best analogy, but I was thinking about it. How just personally, I just think in analogies to make it all make sense better for me. It is my choice on whether or not I want to take a shower every day, right? Yeah. But when you are always in a public area, like say a bus or whatever, and you stink, then you are affecting other people.
Yeah.
Right. Even though it is your choice not to shower, and you can be like, people suck it up, but you're affecting other people's lives by ruining their day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This is you not vaccinating is your choice, but potentially you are ruining other people's lives around you.
Yeah.
By and then endangering them if statistically, right? Like, and to be honest, like, you know, I know people that have been fully vaxxed that got COVID.
Yeah.
I know a handful of people that got it.
Yeah, it doesn't like completely like make you. I hear in Korea the ages from 20 to 30 are the most anti-vax. I mean, in that group of anti-vaxxers, they're mostly 20 to 30s.
You think that's
and then but also pregnant people.
Right.
So I was thinking my wife is not vaxxed, but she's going to get vaxxed.
Right.
Like we're going. Oh, actually, the best part of my week last week, we finally got a visa to go back home. You know, and Benji can meet his grandma finally after 2.5 years. And so, but in order for us to go, Uni has to get vaxxed. So she, it wasn't that she wasn't planning on it, but it was just in the first trimester. Like her doctor was like, "Hey, we don't have enough data on it." So they were like saying, if we could wait like for you not to get vaxxed until later, make sure your husband get vaxxed and everyone in your household, you know, and so let's just not risk any fevers in the first trimester. Right. And so, but now she's planning to get vaxxed like in October or this month, you know, because she's got to get both shots and 2 weeks have to pass by the time we go to the States. And to deal with that. And I've already spent too much money on the flights and the, you know, just that trip alone just costs so much money. I don't want to have to lose my deposits and stuff. Yeah. I
mean, I'm too wondering when I should go to the US to visit. And so I'm slowly narrowing down the time period.
I would go off peak if you can help it. Like the flights, I'm going the Christmas week, and even Benji's flight, kids' flight is like half price, right? And that was still $1,000. It's like, oh my goodness.
I'm thinking about going February, early February.
Okay, when it's cold this year. Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
But not only that, like, you know, family, things like that. You know, maybe pick up a show or two.
Personally, I you know, like I normally go back to the States at least twice a year, right? Not when I first got here. The first time, it took me a long time to go back the first time, but like every year I normally go a couple years, but it's been over 2 years now since I last went back, I think. And I know that that's a big reason why I've been unraveling emotionally. Because I've been having lots of problems this year, but I always get into that really, really depressing state of, man, I just miss my family. You know, I miss my mom. You know, this is the longest. You know, one of the longest times I've had to endure not seeing her. You know, she's never met her grandson, and so I feel really, really sad about that a lot. So I'm hoping this trip to back home in December really helps me heal in a lot of ways. It's been like, I'm so exhausted, man. I like started smoking again, like not like crazy, but it's been helping me like take breaks. Cause I don't know how it went, like, especially when I'm at the office, I find myself just stuck on the computer and it's stressing me the hell out at times, and I don't know when to take a break. But having like something like that is helping me like at least go out, and then it's a fight of how much I actually smoke. They're like, e-cigs, right? So it's like there's no end, or there's just one or two puffs.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. Like that's not the answer, but you know, as long as it's helping you a little bit, you know. I mean, ultimately, dude, like, look, everyone, what is it? Everyone has their own crosses to bear, right? Right. Like, yeah. Your problems are big to you. My problems are big to me. Everyone's problems are big to themselves.
Absolutely.
And it's a matter of figuring out how to healthily get better. Right. So, so, you know, like, you know, hopefully you're not addicted to cigarettes as I am, because it is something that no matter how I slice it, I'm a weak motherfucker for being addicted to this shit.
Yeah, I mean, you know you've warned me over of it time and time again. Yeah, you know, I think my next move is gonna be if I don't get this under wraps, you know, like I need to seek out a therapist. Yeah, like in the States, I feel like it would be easier for me to, you know, find.
But apparently, there's a handful of English-speaking therapists here.
Yeah, and I've heard of them. You know, I heard that they do, you know, exist out here. But you know, that first step is always hardest, and it's always like, in my mind, it's always like I keep adding up all the reasons not to. And one of it is like, but how many can there be, and how good are they? And like, I just make all these excuses.
And I get it. Like, I know, but bro, like, look, we're like, I mean, I'm not in the best state of mind right now. You know what I mean? It's.
But you're working out, you're doing the PT and stuff. Is that helping?
No. Like every now and again, the members of the room that one chat room that I became friends with on Clubhouse. Like once a month. We'll all sign back on.
Oh, really?
And to talk.
You plan it out?
Like we have like a group
ping each other
cacao message thing.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So it's like, hey, you know, 우리가 방 열까요? And then we'll all jump on.
Yeah.
And my trainer's in that room too. That's how we met. And I haven't talked to these guys in a month or so. Yeah. So like, you know, it was fun to like, you know, like hear them like again, like they're all walks, like not all walks of life. They're all Korean, but then like,
isn't there a priest at one point?
There's a blind masseuse. There's a guy who works for like, he's like a notary guy. So he goes all around Korea. Like,
hey, I'm not being a dick here. I really am really curious to know, like, how have you asked him, like, how does he locate like Clubhouse on his? It's all auditory.
Like so, like
you can say Siri open Clubhouse. Is
not
that
only that? It's like when you text him. He has a certain program where he shakes it. And
responds to that.
No,
program?
but like super fast. It'll read like, but then he can listen to it.
Oh, really?
And know what he said.
Oh,
like,
really?
Like, so like I'll be like, hey, like, you know, blah blah blah, I'm here, blah blah blah, and then he'll and it'll you can hear them like speak like really fast, like the AI, and he
picks it up,
all of it.
Wow. Okay.
That motherfucker fucking likes fucking my Instagram photos, and he's blind. He doesn't.
Cool.
It doesn't. I'm sure he doesn't see anything, right? But like
see the description, maybe,
right.
Or hear the description.
Love the kid. He's a really nice guy. All walks, all different. Like occupations.
I mean to derail your
story. All occupations. And dude, I even asked the blind guy like, so like, how do you jack off? Like, what do you jack off to? Because if he was
on Clubhouse, for in front, okay,
and he answered.
Honest about it.
He goes, and the priest is like, "Oh my god!" right. And I was like, "Dude, man, I'm just fucking curious, right?" And he goes, "Well, he's always been blind."
So he was born blind.
Yeah, so he doesn't have a reference of titties, like visually, ever, right? So it's all like from stories and by touch. Okay. So I was like, so you've had sex before? It's like, yeah. But like, you know, it's
all by touch.
By touch, right? Okay. So he will listen to porn, not like watch it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So he's like, just everything's auditory here, right?
Interesting.
Anyway, so back to this, sign on to the Clubhouse for a long time. And the trainer goes, because I haven't talked to these guys in a while, so I was like kind of a little bit more upbeat than normal. And the trainer goes, I see Danny most often in this room. Twice a week, actually.
Yeah.
And this is the most like bright he's been.
Oh, really?
Right.
Okay.
And I go, why would I be fucking happy to see you making me do all this fucking heavy shit?
Seriously.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here I am squatting, you know, like 100 kilograms, like, you know, sets and shit.
Yeah.
Like deadlift. You're making me do shit that I don't want to do.
Major pain.
Right.
Yeah.
Major. Wow. What a reference. So like I go, no, of course I'm not going to be like excited and bright to be like, oh, today I can't wait to do bench presses. Right. Like I hate all of it, you know, but I do it because for health.
Yeah.
You know, for health. Like I want to, you know, like I want to be.
But does that help? My question was, does that help your mental state as well? No? I feel like, and you know, we can talk off air more. I feel like I'm just as dark, if not as depressed as you, but I just don't. You don't.
I don't
voice it as much as I do.
I try not to show it to anybody.
Yeah,
like it's something
I can see that.
Yeah, it's something that I'll just try. I mean, just my personality wise, like I'll deal with it on my own, right? And it's something that like I go, I'll figure it out, right? Like part of it is not doing stand up for 3-4 months. I think that's kind of bummed me out.
Yeah.
And myself not growing. Like I don't think like I have written a joke or thought of a joke. So like I sat down this weekend and I haven't done this in a long time. And I was like, you know, the Watch Out special that I had, like 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Without that, how much material in Korean do I have?
Okay.
And I just started jotting it down.
Yeah.
To my surprise, I was like, I forgot the shit that I was saying 3 months ago. Like,
really?
I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I remember going, I can't just have 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And then when I finally like really just sat down and thought about it. That's
scary because it's also an issue of like most comics don't want their sets recorded.
Right.
Because they don't want the material they're working out to get out there before it's polished. Right. And so if you're not working it out, like, yeah, I could see the fear of losing material because you haven't been essentially at the gym.
Yes, exactly. So like, you know,
scary. No.
So now it's my like slowly but surely, like I need to kind of focus on that, you know?
Totally.
And come up with, so this weekend I wrote down stuff that I haven't said on Watcha. And it's about an hour.
Okay.
But now it's a matter of how do I tighten this up to make it a good hour.
Okay.
Right? You know what I mean? So that's now the next project, right? Speaking of comedy specials, Dave Chappelle.
I heard. Dropped a new one?
Released his supposed final stand-up special for Netflix, the multi-special deal called The Closer.
Have you seen it yet?
It is not out in Korea.
Oh, okay.
The people in the
I haven't seen it.
The people in the US have seen it, and it is getting a lot of flack once again from the trans community.
Oh yeah,
right.
I mean it did in the past too. Yeah.
Right, but to a point where they're telling them to remove it from. Netflix.
They're trying to cancel Dave Chappelle.
Right.
Okay.
You know, but from Netflix's point of view, like I spent $20+ million.
Oh yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So a part of me thinks if it gets too bad, it might not even see the light of day in Korea.
Really?
Possibly.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
His other specials were controversial for those reasons as well. So I guess it might be like a pick and choose your battles kind of thing for Netflix. But
I think Dave Chappelle is kind of just, you know, I mean, again, he's
you can't be perfect, right? Or I don't know what the controversy is, so I don't even want to take sides on it. But even like Dave Chappelle, like let's say he didn't make a mistake in his special by going too far, like it's getting to a point where I almost hope that it's a situation where it's just like it's gonna be a teaching moment, you know, where it's like, all right, maybe we shouldn't cancel Dave Chappelle. Maybe we should just focus on the fact that this, you know, we can deal with situations better and learn better and how to move forward, you know?
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
like a teaching moment.
This is what I think. I think personally, as much as Dave Chappelle has a right to say whatever the fuck he wants to say on stage, as a comedian, his attempt is to do stand-up comedy, you know what I mean? And it is everyone else's right to look at it and enjoy it or get offended or feel indifferent about it, right?
Yeah.
And also voice their opinions about it, right?
I agree to a certain extent.
No, meaning everyone can, look, man, like if I tell a joke or you sing a song, some people might love it, some people might hate it, some people might think, oh, that's stupid, whatever. Everyone's entitled to their opinion about what they consume, right?
Yeah.
And they can voice it.
Yeah.
Right? Similarly to Dave being able to voice his special, right? Whatever. He got paid for it. My whole thing is that it's everyone else jumping into the witch hunt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's why like I agree to a certain degree, but it's always like about, all right, the end game, like really is what we're fighting for. It's like, man, like at the expense of, you know, at the expense of just like singling one group out, you know, let's talk Asians. We're Asian, right? I forget what her name was, like, but would make fun of us. And she got a pass because she was Asian, kind of thing. It was dangerous because, you know, she was empowering non-Asians to laugh at stereotypes that we're trying to move past. Right. And that's where I feel like if Dave falls into that category, for some, then it's going to be an issue he's always going to have to deal with.
Yeah.
But
dude, like I'm just, to me, like I haven't seen the special, right? But I've seen the other ones. And to me, it's like, all right, it's funny until he hits your group.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You know, and but you laugh at the Jew joke, you laugh at the whatever because you're not, right. So like
because it doesn't affect you the same way.
Yeah. So my whole thing is that like, fuck your feelings. You know what I mean? Like, to be honest, like why
you make a good point because it's at the expense of let's say. You know, I can wince at a Asian joke that he makes, which I did. Yeah. Like his last special, he was like, "Well, hello, I'm you know, like I'm Chinese, like kind of thing." I was like, "Oh, that's not that funny," right? You know, but it wasn't enough for me to be like, he didn't spend so much of my emotional wallet, take out so much out of my wallet where I'd be like, "Ah, oh, fuck this guy," you know, like no, okay. That's when it's like, all right, it's not really taking that much away from my feelings. It's just kind of like, at least in that situation for me, I was like, all right, Dave Chappelle's not trying to, you know, alienate like Asians. You know, he's just like,
and beyond that, it's like my whole the lesson I hope that people will eventually get to is that the more and more all these organizations and all these whatever, right? Like start, you know, complaining about an artist, particularly when it comes to stand-up comedy. You do not see it as much in movies or like, or you know what I mean? Like,
it's not as...
If you see a rape scene in a movie, you're not going to complain to be like, you are normalizing rape. You're just gonna kind of look at it as, oh, that's acting. Right? That's art or whatever, right? But
stand up,
only stand up comics, like it becomes a statement.
Yeah,
right?
and it's always about like, you know, the buttons. You guys push buttons, right? That most people aren't willing to push. So, but somebody's got to push it.
Yeah.
To know if it's okay, because we've allowed a lot to pass by, right, in our time. That's offensive jokes, right? I think Dave also, when he does make fun of Chinese people, essentially, like, one thing that I did appreciate, you know, him. I mean, like, it didn't solve the problem, but it's like him saying, you know, because his wife is Asian, right?
Filipino, yeah.
And he's saying, his wife is like, yeah, I don't like that joke, you know, kind of thing. At least he's, you know, not running away from the, you know, the issue. Like, he actually meets the issue and then he makes a decision. No, I still want to push that button.
Right.
You know?
And if for an hour you're laughing, let's say it's an hour set, and for 45 minutes you're laughing, and one or two jokes just fucking stabbed you, right? And they do, and then like, then watch something else. Watch another comedian that is your preference, right? Like, to me, that's the way I watch comedy. Like, I don't, and I love stand-up comedy, but I know for a fact that, like, I like a lot of these comics, but I don't agree with a lot of their views, right? Like Norm Macdonald, my favorite stand-up comic, right? But he had a lot of views that I didn't agree with, right? But at the same time, it's the same thing with you and me. Like, there's a lot we disagree on, right? But we can still be friends, and we can still not be offended by everything, you know, like, you know, but that's the way I see, even, you know, like, that's the world to me. You know, I can still be friends and not have to cancel people that make a single mistake or like something that, you know, I'm not going to start a witch hunt against someone that I know, you know, I can still be friends with. You know, these people have more, for a Dave Chappelle, I think he's done so much good. Like, we're not going to go as far as saying, oh, Bill Cosby has done so many good things for people. He rapes, but he saves. So, I mean, all right, we don't have to go that far. But like, if we're talking about Dave Chappelle, we haven't even seen his stand-up, but I'm already defending him because, you know, I that's the way I consume his art. The way I put it, you know, like, but, you know, like, I don't know. I mean, like, you know, I think we've a handful of episodes ago, we talked about, like, you know, like the PC cops running amok, right? Like, the, you know, like, to me, it's in Korea, like, apparently a big majority, or not a big percentage of this population cannot eat cilantro. Right? It tastes like fucking soap to them, right? Then they just don't order it. They get pho without cilantro. They don't go, let's close this restaurant down because they have cilantro, right? Like, just because it bugs you, just don't watch it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand like, how angry and how shitty does your life need to be that you are more worried about canceling somebody else because, like, your feelings were hurt? I think the people that are arguing and trying to, you know, cancel people, it's more like they see it this way. Like, it's not so much that it's cilantro. It's like, there's razor blades in the food. And okay, I choose not to eat it. But I don't want my kids eating those razor blades. No, but here's my thing is that, like, I don't know, it's a terrible analogy. If 100% of the people did not laugh at that joke, if I said one joke, and let's say there's 100 people in this room, and if not a single one thought it was funny, then we might have an argument, right? But if even in those 100 people, if 10 people laughed, that means that it was still comedy. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning that, like some people like razor blades in their fucking dishes. My point is that, like sugar basically is terrible for you, right? So let's just change it to sugar. You know, like, some people don't want their kids having whole milk. I don't know, like, so it becomes, though, like, I do understand how crazy it's gotten. You know, like, now I remember her name, Esther Koo, right?
that I've seen her sets. You know, she says all this stuff. She got dropped off at the airport in Korea, or she's getting picked up at the airport in Korea and got in 10 wrong cars because everyone looks the same, kind of thing. And just like, it's cheap comedy, right?
Yeah.
It's funny to most people that aren't Asian.
Yeah.
Right? I don't want to lump, a lot of people find that offensive and if they're not Asian too, but I think there are people, there are a lot of Asian people that will be like, what the fuck are you doing? We're trying to set like a better standard for, you know, not just for you and myself, but for our kids, so they don't have to grow up with feeling less than someone else. That's how they feel. Yeah. Even though it is funny to somebody, they're just fighting for things to be deleted from the what do you call it, from the lexicon of what's a right to say. And
that's to me, I disagree in the sense of like, if y'all don't like it and you want your kids to watch it, then fucking like don't watch her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think the way I stand on that though is like, I don't watch her, and she probably has to deal with a lot of bullshit that she probably hates. You know, she has to deal with a lot of people hating on her. So that's her choice. She's, you know, like maybe, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It's getting a little confusing though.
I mean, look, man. To me, like, again, like in everyone has the right to say what they want, feel how they feel. Yeah. Right. But then I'm saying that you can just not watch it. Yeah. Right. Instead of starting a rally cry. Yeah. Right. Because like, look, I'm not saying that the plight of the LGBT community is the same as fucking fat people. Right. But you know, like, but in America, there's a term called fat shaming. Yeah. You know what I mean? And there's people who take that seriously. Yeah. You know? In Korea, there is no term called fat shaming. They just call you a fucking pig. They call you teji, 뚱땡이, right? You know, but it is not. How do you say? It is not frowned upon, right? So what I'm saying is that, like,
I mean, it's PC to not say that in the States, but here that hasn't reached that level.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I'm not saying that they're the same. They're going through the same difficulties and plight, right? Because I'm sure that, you know, people have died and got fucking killed for being in the LGBT community, right? So my point is that, like, you might think that it normalizes, like me telling a joke that's whatever, like that might offend the LGBTQ community. Yeah. You're saying that normalizes like hatred for us. Right. Oh, yeah. But I go no. Like,
it depends on the joke though.
Yeah. I mean, he's not saying like kill you motherfuckers, right? Like, you know, like that's my point, is that like we are the issue is that, like, because it's an issue. That's my point, is that like you could hate it, the whole community can fucking hate it, right? But why does it need to get taken down? And if it does, do you really win? Right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like all these anti-Asian, let's say there's a comedian that does anti-Asian jokes, like hardcore or like fuck you chinks kind of jokes, right? Let's say he does that, right? And let's say they cancel him. Yeah. Does that stop you from getting punched in the face for being Asian, or getting like, you know what I mean? It doesn't.
I think there are levels of, like, you know, if for Dave Chappelle, like I wouldn't want him to be canceled even if he told Asian jokes. Yeah. Because I know that at least he gets the conversation going within, you know, communities and whatnot. And it's the conversation that still needs to be had. Right. Right? Where people are fighting and giving their arguments. And, you know, I've read through comments on these issues, right? And I actually learn a lot. I actually learn why I feel the way I feel, and somebody just voiced it better, you know? So in that sense, it's good. It's a good thing. It's a good, you know, conversation starter, if you want to put it, you know, but when it's clearly wrong, also, that's when it needs to be like, you know, goes back to what Patrice O'Neill once said is like to fight for the attempt.
Yeah.
Right. Is the comic's job.
Right.
Right. To push those buttons and then realize, oh, you know what? This is offending way too many people. It's not worth it.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, like, okay. I mean, maybe it was a different time.
Yeah.
But if you scrub through Eminem's old lyrics, they're fucking crazy.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like hatred, violent, you know, to a handful of communities.
Yeah.
Right? And until recently, some TikToker was trying to cancel Eminem for songs he did back.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But my point is that like, that's not, if you believe that violent video games, violent movies, violent fucked up jokes lead to people doing that, then, because my whole thing is like, life is way too hard.
Yeah.
Right? That if you try to stop like certain things from coming out in media.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
if you make everything if you lived in a completely PC world, which is going to be impossible, right? But like you do a pretty good job of it for your kids.
Yeah.
Right. But are you doing a disservice to them? Like for me, I'm glad I was not coddled, you know, and I don't plan on doing that for my son completely. I do plan to keep him safe as much as I can.
Right.
But there are certain things, realities in this world that I want him to be aware of. And I know sometimes it's you're going to have to learn the hard way. Right. Because there's just always going to be racists in the world, always people that think they're better than you.
Right.
I'm sorry, but within our lifetime, we cannot obliterate that kind of thing. So here's the thing. So we have to continue to do the best we can. Like Dave Chappelle, clearly on top of his game, but he cannot always be on it. He can't be the champion for whatever. He
doesn't need to be, though.
He doesn't need to, right?
Yeah.
But I think he's close enough to be like the comic that everyone needs to learn these issues in a better way and understand, like, Dave Chappelle is not going to give in to being completely PC so you can feel, you know, like, you know, or you can feel that your kids are going to be like safer because of, you know, so like, that's why I don't want my kid to completely grow up like I hated growing up in New York, but at least I can appreciate like some of the level of street, like learn how to take care of myself.
Yeah.
You know, and
I mean, I think that's very important. I think because like, you know how they're like, there's no bullying at school.
Yeah.
Right. At school, right? So what if your kid, now gets out of school after school, right? Where is the principal and vice principal and teachers to eliminate bullying there? All right.
Yeah.
Let's say that you're lucky enough that there wasn't bullying all the way up to college. And then afterwards, like you see a thug on the street.
Yeah.
Right. What do you think that thug goes, you know what? I believe in no bullying too. Right. Or you know what I mean? Or shady motherfuckers that are fraudulent with your money. Like, do you think they all grew up with same morals? I was like, no. Yeah. Like, all this is a disservice, right? To I'm not saying to you, but I'm saying to everybody is that, like, you know, we're trying to make everything so safe to a point where it's not real life. You know, one. And number two, like, why are we expecting like our celebrities to be perfect?
Oh, yeah.
What I mean?
That's the thing. That's another problem we have as a society. Like if we cancel everybody that says something wrong, it's just going to continue to knock out like our ability to learn, to learn. never mind being entertained.
Yeah.
You know, it's just going to be harder and harder to be entertained if you don't let artists push the boundaries.
I draw the line. I draw the line on felony crimes.
Oh yeah,
right,
okay,
right.
yeah,
Like that's where I.
That's fair.
That's where I draw the line, right?
Yeah.
If it's something you said, right, I'm like whatever, you know. Like I'm not saying that I'll ever be friends with somebody from the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah.
Right. But I feel like I can have a conversation. You know what I mean? And be like, there's certain parts of this person that might be cool, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Aside from other things that I don't agree with. And I'm not saying we're gonna be homies.
Sure.
But like I think that's what humans are supposed to be.
Yeah,
like,
I mean you find the middle ground, you start there, and then maybe if you have problems with each other, that's like we do, right? And we work those out. And certain times I'm just like, all right, I can't change Danny's mind on this. It is what it is.
Yeah.
He's gonna keep jerking off like I'm just I don't know, like too much or something.
All the time.
So
twice yesterday.
So we'll, you know, but then we get to those, we decide for ourselves that like, that's not enough for me not to want to be friends with this person.
Yeah.
It's not enough to, like I don't want perfect friends. Yeah. Like I want people that are just like me, that make mistakes and that can accept me for who I am, right? That's why I'm friends with Danny, because I know for a fact, without even knowing how he has, but he's fucked up in life.
Yeah.
So have I. Yeah. You know, just in the way we talk, our vernacular, or whatever it is, like we are drawn to each other. Danny, we can talk about almost anything, and you know, like most times I won't agree with him, but like I love that we can still be friends. You know, and he doesn't agree with a lot that I do. I'm not honest enough, right? Stuff like that. So, but yeah, here we are after 63 episodes.
Yeah.
And we're still doing this, right? Yeah, two imperfect guys just.
I mean, if I see anybody that like I think is trying to be too perfect, that I will smell out their fatal flaw, and it's usually like something crazy. You know what I mean? Like, you know how not just Korea, but everyone like tries to put up a front. Yeah. Everything's good, balling. You know what I mean? Like, you know, when you go to Korean churches in LA, right? A lot of Mercedes, a lot of German cars.
Yeah.
Right. And then you go to their house and it's like a shitty apartment. Like,
I didn't know you were going that way.
No, I feel like everybody wants to put up a front that everything's all good. I'm successful. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, but your house is dirty. You know what I'm saying? And there's always going to be something.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'm just like, hey guys, I look like my house is fucking filthy. Right.
It is pretty filthy.
Like you get, you know what I mean? Like I'm not going to hide anything. Like I'm just going to be like, here it is. If you ask, for the most part, I'll tell you. Right.
I think of Danny often. I watch Friends over and over, and there's this moment where, you know, Ross is dating Rebecca Romaine, and she's like a colleague, but she's like the most beautiful woman in the world. But the one thing is he gets invited over to her apartment, and she's living in a dump. Like basically, it's just a garbage. Endless sea of garbage. And so he's like doesn't want to stay there, right? He's like, hey, do you have any cinnamon toast crunchies or something like that? Toasties? And she's like, no. Well, I do. Right. Like I feel like when I go to your house, I'm always thinking, what does Danny not have in his apartment that I can offer him right now to go to leave?
Like, you know, my ex-girlfriend who's Korean, right?
It's not that bad, by the way. I'm just like playing with him. It is.
Recently, it's been kind of bad, but yesterday I did a bit of cleaning up. But my ex-girlfriend who's Korean, she gets a cleaner for her apartment like once every 2 months. Like calls a lady.
Once every 2, okay.
In the US. Right?
Okay, yeah.
But her mom instructed her to clean the place before she comes.
Yeah. That's smart.
No, meaning that to put up an affront that like I'm a clean person.
Oh, that's different. Like it's smart to clean before a cleaner comes.
Right.
So they're forced to get in the cracks and like clean the house, even, you know, the parts that you don't want to do behind the fridge and all this stuff. I learned that also because of my brother. My brother, we had someone clean, like when we lived together, like they came once every other week or something. Right. So yeah, like he would always clean. I mean, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, we pay someone to clean the place.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, but it's really so, you know, we should be cleaning after ourselves, like the normal stuff.
Right.
And then really dig in, like, because it was his home. He's a homeowner.
Right.
The cleaning people come and really get in the cracks and stuff. That's his reasoning.
Right. Her mom says, you clean the house so that the ajumma doesn't think you're a fucking slob.
Okay, that's different.
Right. And I was like, what? Then don't call the ajumma.
Yeah, don't.
You know what I mean?
It's a waste of money.
Right. So, you know, I was like, I'm too old to put up a front.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if I was younger, I might have the energy, the life mana, the life bar of my Street Fighter character would be at full.
That's why I appreciate you, Danny, so much, because you don't front.
Yeah.
Right. I do. I clearly do. You know, I have so many problems, and I try to hide them.
Yeah.
Well, not online and stuff.
But you know me. I look at it and be like, that person's insignificant. Fuck what that person thinks. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm here. You might not agree with it. I might just keep on saying it till I'm blue in the face. But that's how I feel when I hear some of the problems. I'm like, who gives a shit about that? What that person thinks?
Yeah, right? I think I care too much about what people think about me. I know I have that problem.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I'm not on Instagram and those. I'm not on there as much anymore, and so I'm like, I've been posting recently, like a few, just like about the baby, and but I'll just post it, and I won't check to see who liked it. Like I'm in and out now.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know,
and I love it.
I mean, ultimately,
so much better for your health.
Ultimately, I think, you know, if you think about it, like, not for your, if you don't think about your analytics and just fucking garbage post what you want to post, then you'll be fine. That's how I am. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I do. I remember though, I did recently just go in and I was thinking, well, people commenting, they're nice enough to comment. I feel bad because I don't respond to it.
I just heart it.
Beep. Yeah, so I've done that. I've gone back and just the heart, but I don't often. I just like try not to see who even, just because I want them to at least know that I'm. You know, it's like it's not about. I'm not trying to be a dick. You know, I just want to post every now and then so people know that I'm still alive, because the last one was very like depressing, and I get like messages from people where like, hey, I've been trying to hit you up on DMing you, and I'm calling now because I want to make sure you're alive. And so that gets me thinking in my bed. I'm like, I should post something, you know, every now and then.
Right.
But that's why I don't like that stuff. I need to figure it out for myself now, so I know how to teach my kids or how to deal with it in their lifetime, right? So these are my problems now.
Well, I mean, you know, like I think because of what you do for a living, aside from this, your music stuff, like, you know, in your mind that it is supposed to be important to get to interact with fans and all the yada yada whatever. And, you know, I mean, some people do, some people don't. You know, there's some celebrities that don't have any social media accounts, and some people do, right? So like, it's the way you take it, and you know, like if they're your fans, right? Know relatively that a majority of the shit you always post is not fucking happy-go-lucky shit anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
You know what infuriates me though?
What?
Anything I post about music, if there's my music in it, those do the least well. I'm just like, this is why even on it, to keep the music alive.
Right.
And to still have a shot, you know, doing it. And ultimately it discourages me. And so I know it's like this never ending cycle of like, why do I do this?
Then don't.
You know? I'm doing a better job staying off of it.
Yeah, because I just garbage post to be like, like I took a video of, like I said earlier, about the kids playing takji on the street in Hongdae, and I was like, man, y'all not slapping each other. Hashtag do it right.
You know, a lot of people use this. It's not an excuse, but like it might be for some. It's like the reason why I do social media is because it's a great way to keep in touch with people and know what they're doing, right? And I remember like when we didn't have social media, like we still did that, you know, but like I met up with them, like I called them, or like, you know, like those were good times. Like I remember those days where I actually had more emotional attachment to them. You know, when you spend physical time with people. I met up with Frank over the weekend, right? And we had dinner and drinks, you know, on the rooftop. And so a beautiful night, right? It might as well have been a date if you know, if we were both single and gay. Yeah. You know, so I was like loving the time we were spending, and we talked about the past, we talked about the future and the present. Right. And I just remember like the next day I was super hungover. But I was like, I found out what Frank has been up to in that you know few hours that we spent together, and I didn't need to find out on Instagram, right? You know, I mean, like that's like for some people, then they do that too. They hang out, but they also have like for me, I'd rather, if I had a choice, like why not just like just zero in and meet people. You know,
I mean, you know, like obviously, like if I'm the same way in terms of like, especially like who live in Korea or who live in Seoul, particularly, like the people that I see are people that I want to hang out with, and know what the hell's going on in their lives, right? You know.
Now, for the people you don't see, it might be important to post something.
Yeah, it might be important. It's, I mean, not that I don't want to hang out with, I don't want to see them, right? But like, there's some people that like, it's like the batting average is so high, in terms of having I don't mean not to say fun time, but I enjoy hanging out with them. You know what I mean? And I don't. It doesn't have to be fucking hilarious times all the time. But the batting average of being enjoyable. Those are the people that I want near my life. You know how you know how you sometimes go, I don't want to see like dark, tense shit. Right? You just want sometimes some like mindless shit that's kind of amusing. And you prefer that? I prefer that in my relationships with people.
Oh man,
do you know what I mean? If I have a lot of just dark, tense, fucking, you know, whatever.
You said this about me, because you were like, there was someone else that was just as dark as I was, and you opted into not being friends with them because I already have one of you in my life. I got one, and I don't need it. I don't have the capacity to that's field another one. Maybe one of the best compliments I've ever received, or one of the warmest sentiments I've ever received. Like, thanks, Danny. I'm your needy friend. Like, you're supposed to keep needy people out of your life, but you're okay with one at least.
Just one. Just one.
So, oh shit. Yeah. So, I mean, so for me, like, my last couple posts were like the baby news, right? Like that kind of thing. Yeah, there's a lot of people in my life that I can't meet up with and I can't see or even call because of timing. But yeah, that's a good way to, you know, share those that kind of news. But I don't have to constantly be like even posting. Like posting every day what Benji does, and although I'm like tempted to.
Like, I don't know. Maybe I know I'm doing my social media improperly, but it doesn't affect me. That's why I'm like, whatever response it gets, whether it's fucking a ton of likes or not.
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever. You know, my brain goes, this is my Instagram account or my YouTube account is the United States of Danny Cho, right?
Yeah,
I am the dictator, right? And I am the president. And if I don't need to see it, I'll block people, I'll cut people. You know what I mean? It's what I do, right? It's my playground and I take it the way I want to take it, right? So if I decide to shit post on something, like something dumb, right? I'll just do it to be like, ta-da. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you don't like it, fuck off. Don't like it, whatever. That's how I feel. Like I don't stress about how it's going to be perceived or what people think of me. Like, cause I know my intention.
Yeah.
It goes back to stand-up comedy. My intention is to make you laugh, right? And if I swing and I miss, oh well. Nobody bets 1,000 in comedy. Nobody, right?
Yeah.
So oh well, here. Okay, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about like the everything that I put out in terms of social media or even my stand-up. Like I try it on stage, but oops, that didn't work. Oh well, swung and I missed, right?
Yeah.
Now when it comes to like talking to like people and interacting, then I'm a little bit more, how do you say, not calculating, but I am more sensitive to what the hell is going on. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I choose my words better.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, like I don't know, man. Like I don't understand why you get like stressed out about social media. I just be like, yeah, just fucking like, do what you want. Who gives a fuck? It's yours.
Lately, I just think I don't have. I let too many things I let get to me.
Yeah.
I just have lost my sense of how to guard myself.
Yeah.
In so many ways, I think it's just been the worst year ever when it comes to that.
But my that's why here is me telling you it. Like there's a lot of things that you are like. Things that are affecting you, and again, I can't fucking defend for you, but but I go, yo,
yeah,
that's nonsense. Which is
I know. You told me many times that I need to give less fucks about things, and you're right.
Yeah,
actually, and so you're helping me.
Yeah,
actually, every time you say it, So with that said, let's go play some takji. That's a long show.
Yeah.
Another hour and a half.
I missed a phone call.
From?
No, I don't have her number.
But maybe it's like a...
No, it's a dude's name.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I guess next week...
You know what?
We'll talk about...
I know what we should do.
What?
We should start calling some guests.
Yeah, we got to get a guest. Yeah. We got to get guests. Yeah. And we say this all the time.
No. I told you.
So lazy.
I don't think it's that. It's until you fucking sturdy up and not bum our guests out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know? So it has to be a different attitude. It's about the guests when they come here, right? So
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, yo.
All right, guys.
Later.
Next time. Peace.